LMC,
Hey,
TK, Happy J,
Kaffy,
sexy baby bossa go,
Kaffy,
fine bubba bossa go,
Kaffy,
hey bossa go.
Kaffy.
oh, welcome to a new episode of Just Kaffy Podcast. This is where I am unapologetic about what I say, what I express. It's my opinion, it's my vibe, it's my life, it's my experience, and I'm willing to share with the world. Yes, there's always something to learn from each other. That's why we are human beings. We'll continue to be. Yes, this new season, as you all have been following, is about being divorced and not defeated, taking a cue from my own personal experience and sharing some tips or experiences that will help people who are in a relationship try and fix it early, those that are about to go in, build all the necessary elements required before they go in, and those that are out, not to feel left out about the world, life, or be stigmatized about their situation, but give life another chance. Like you can make it if you try. Don't you ever give up on you. Don't you ever give up on love. I just tried to sing, but manage it like that. So this episode, we are going to be diving in deeper. And I want to talk about something that is really common, but we need to look into it because they say two wrongs cannot make it right. So this episode is called Reacting to the Wrong. Good. It's very common for any human being, or in fact, it is human for you to react to pain, betrayal, just react to anything. Like we are a bundle of energy. We react, you understand? And what I've also found out about, using my own experience in my marriage is that it's not every time that you're justified for the wrong that you're justified for the reaction that you did when the wrong was done to you. Do you understand that? Yeah. So what I'm saying is that sometimes people can really hurt you, but how you react to that, you don't have to be equally bad, equally nasty, equally unkind because we are reacting. And it's a very difficult thing. It requires a high level of emotional intelligence for you to be experiencing pain and react in a way that is not coming from a place that that makes the pain define who you are. And a lot of us are already broken in ourselves, which is the reason why we need to find ourselves before we start merging with another person. Because when you are broken and you come to a place where they can't break the broken bottle again, there'll be a lot of sharp edges. And when things come in contact with each other, when the friction comes, it will poke, right? Really poke. So I find myself reacting to the wrong, and in reacting to the wrong, I feel justified by my anger. I feel justified by why I should be experiencing that. And this is not to belittle the pain that people feel, because look, emotional pain is equally as bad. In fact, it's more damaging than physical pain. Yeah, you can get damaged physically and all of that, but when you are damaged emotionally, it's like dying in silence, and it's opaque. No one can see through that. It's hard for people to see through that because you always get you can deal with it, you can do it, you're a strong woman, you can do it, you're a strong man. I don't believe it's fair for anyone to be in everlasting pain, because it's going to change who you are. So one of the things that I realized after a while is that for every time I felt wronged in my relationship, I felt justified to defend myself. And in my defense, or in the process of defending myself, I also was lashing out. I was lashing out in attitude. I was lashing out in communication, and it wasn't getting any better. You understand that? It wasn't getting any better. So I want to say that, look, as much as the wounded can cry, you should also watch out how loud you go, because you're experiencing pain and you want to lash out on the pain, but you might end up also being a bad person. So being justified by your wrong, or the wrong being done to you, can lead you into a position whereby you also start doing bad stuff. It doesn't change you for being bad. It's still bad, even if you are justified. Do you understand that? Being very, you always want to, when you get attacked, you want to attack back. You would, I started losing how will I say, like, I was looking at my partner, like, you're demanding respect. Can you imagine the amount of disrespect you've already done to me? And you are there talking about being respectful, being, my words are sharp like arrow. And I'm like, oh, my words are sharp like arrow. Like, you don't know what your actions are doing. But when you look at it critically, it's the same. It's like saying two wrongs don't make a right. So the moment you're able to tell yourself the truth about this kind of situations, the earlier the better, because you don't want to be a bad person because of your situation. You want to maintain, or you want to get your sanity back. And if you lose yourself in the pain, somebody else will come out. And that's one of the reasons why I just feel like, oh my God, I am changing. I'm becoming very temperamental. I'm already a temperamental person, and I'm being hurt. I'm becoming worse than I used to be. And I cannot let this relationship be the one to define how I become as a person. And one thing I wanted to say is that you need to try not to be bitter. I don't know how everyone can take this, but some people look at me and say, oh, this is your relationship, like, you're taking it so well, you're not spewing bitterness. I grew out of it. There are moments where I feel like, you understand? But to what end? To what gain? I'm going to lose my peace over it. If I cannot get peace by doing that, why do I want to pursue? Why do I want to go down that path? Bitterness breeds hatred. And once you find yourself getting to that point whereby you can't even stand the presence of someone, something is critically wrong with you as much as it's wrong with them. So I would say that you need to get help. You need to get therapy. You can be justified, but you can be wrong. And one of the things that you also get to veer into is self-blame, because one of the things that for me is the first person I attack whenever I'm going through any kind of friction in any relationship of any sort is myself. I blame myself. What did I do wrong? Why am I not beautiful enough? Am I not looking nice enough? Or what is it in my attitude, in my presence that is foiling this? But most of the time you can't take the fall for your partner's crimes. When I say crimes, I mean the wrongs that you felt that you're done. You can't take another person's fault. You need to be able to grow out of thinking it's all about you. You need to also put ego out of the way, because sometimes you are so broken by the heightened frequency of ego. Why is it me? Why would you do that to me? A whole me, that kind of stuff. If you can put ego aside, which I had to at some point, and just look at the problem and not just at the person, fight the problem, and I started attacking the situation, that is when I started getting more clarity on, okay, is this supposed to continue? Is this for me? Can I still fight this? Can I fight this? But when it got to a point where it's really clear that what I'm fighting is not just the idea of the situation, but I'm fighting another person's perspective towards life and what it is that we both hold together. We're not holding it on the same pedestal. Then you now have to reevaluate the entire relationship and look at that. And one other thing I wrote here is that you cannot move when you are bleeding. You need to stop the bleed. So while you are in that situation, while you are in that pain, rot, whatever it is that is creating or tearing you down, you need to heal first. You cannot give forgiveness. You can't bring kindness. You can't love your spouse better if you want to fix it, if you don't start healing from inside. And that is something that, I really want us to look into, that emotional trauma is real. It is devastating. It can kill. The same way your heart can race when you see something scary. That's the way the mind and the body react. So when there is pain physically, the body reacts to it. When there's pain emotionally, the body is reacting to it. So you can be sick, you'll be unwell, you'll be unstable, you'll be psychologically strained and frustrated. Everything that can happen to your system physically can happen to your system with the emotional abuse as well. So it is very important to take note that it is real and it can happen. But the first healing starts with you. And until the next episode, I'll say, being divorced is not being defeated. Being broken doesn't mean you should remain broken. You can pick up the pieces and make a beautiful fine china out of that. Make your ashes become your pancake of beauty. You're a beauty. You're a speck. Mwah. Take care.